Let's go. Come on. Good morning, my big dog lovers. We're doing another morning walk, and we have to make sure that we did get it done quickly because we have other errands to take care of today. I think we are going to try to find some new gear today to wear. So we're going to be heading out to one of the stores here in town to offer some pretty cool outfits. We want to see something new on these guys. So kind of looking forward to doing that. We're also going to try to do a little socializing this weekend. That's one of our top priorities, socialization. We've been talking about socializing big girl Storm here, yes. And also continuing and keeping up with our socialization with big boy Rainy Bop. Yeah, big boy Rainy Bop. It's a big dog. You a big dog, ain't you, boy? Yes, you are. You a big dog. That's right. See, look at it. I gave you some dap. All right. So today's a little cloudy, but it's a wonderfour time. Great weather we're having, wonderful temperatures. Reminds me, I want to also thank our listeners. I say my, but that's our because it's the star of the show are these guys. They're the star. People are really not here to listen to me. They're really here to see these guys in action. I think they're wonderful pets. They're great friends. As long as you put the time in to make them be good friends and good pets. And that's why we spend so much time every day walking, talking, interacting. We get it done every day. So I think that's something that we all need to keep in mind when you're getting a new pet. It doesn't matter what size the pet is. I think people see the larger pets because of the damage they can do. But any pet needs your time, needs your attention, needs your love. So before you buy something, please, as they say, count up the cost. Please be aware of all the time commitment that you need to make a successful, happy life for you and your pet. So these guys are happy. They're having a wonderful morning. They woke me up, nudged me. This guy, he's a nudger. So if you ever had a Cane Corso, well, maybe this is my Cane Corso, but as far as I can tell, it seems like these guys use that big face to talk to you, right? They nudge you around. And so he'll nudge me on the side of he's tall enough to nudge me while I'm sleeping, like, hey, it's time to go for a walk. She's like a shark. Yeah, she's a shark. So you stand up and she encircles you just round and round and round. No one else can come to you because she's encircling you. But and then they get in your way. They're like, any step that you make, they're right there because they're saying to you, listen, brah, it's time to go. We got to hit up that road. That's what they're saying, right? So they will let you know what they want to do. And so when it comes to exercise, things that makes them better, I'm all for it if I have time and if I can. So I got to make time. I make that time. Yeah. So we're looking forward to later on today, the weekend. I had a couple of ideas for working on those issues I've been discussing lately with Storm and with Rain. One idea is, and you have to be careful because you don't want to do too much at one time. I mean, I think that's happened before where I have high expectations and I'm like, I'm gonna get everything done right now, and it's overwhelming for the dogs, and then it ends up being not as effective. But the one idea that I had is I wanted to individually. So maybe I can recap on what the problem is. So on my last video, I talked about an incident where I was walking down the street in my neighborhood with both of my dogs, and I ran into a friend of mine who was one of my prior CrossFit coaches. And so she stopped and pulled out her earbuds long enough to talk to me. And I made the mistake of keeping the dogs in between us while we were talking. And Storm lunged out at her, and she backed up, kind of in a frightening motion. And so Storm was like, "Yeah, I did my job. I protected my dad from this, you know." Now she's a CrossFitter, so she's strong, but my God, she's not after us. It's not a threat, you know. So anyway, the problem is that he watched that interaction, and so everything that we do is a learning for him. And so if she's teaching him how to come at people that aren't a threat to us, it can be a problem. So I decided that I needed to go back to figuring out how to socialize her, starting from the ground up, because she's lost ground being at home from being sick with parvo about 2 years ago. So we're going to do some work. And so one of the things that I was thinking about doing, maybe not today, but I want to kind of do it in phases. Oh, there's a dead frog. Come on, buddy. Let's go. So, Rainy Bop. Rainy Bop. I get in the weeds, dude. Bop. So one thing that I'm going to do is we have, I was thinking about getting a neighbor to help me out, have them come and basically walk their dog in front of them while I use some techniques to snap them out of their mind state of attack mode and bark and protect daddy at all costs from this poodle, whatever. But I right now don't have anybody right now that I'm that close enough to make that arrangement. So, but I do have a family that's in the community. They have their dogs on a electric collar, and so the dogs look pretty much like they're free roaming in the front yard. So what I'm going to try to do is individually take them in front of their house and walk right in front of their, on the street, of course, but walk right in front of their uh, dogs that look like they're loose, and then I'm going to try to slowly desensitize her to the little yapping dogs, and I'm trying to get her to the point where she can just kind of focus on me, walk by, and not be bothered, And I think I need to do this individually because they're so big and strong, and I'm not saying I'm not a strong guy. I mean, I did do a little lifting back in the day, and so I how you doing, neighbor? Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're just out having our morning walk. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good day. So I would like to take them individually because I could give them. I have wonderful neighbors in the neighborhood. I think these dogs get a lot of attention, man. They're just. I say that they're beautiful, but clearly other people give me that feedback. That's a true statement. So I think that given the fact that both of them are strong and they both feed off of each other, I may have a hard time breaking their mindsets. Because they're kind of going in order of priority and highest interest. And if they're pretty heighted, they're in an elevated state because of what they're seeing, the dogs that are barking that are loose, or the person that's walking by. And I'm trying to tame or calm one down, and the other sees that. That only makes it more exciting for the other one. So it's like a double-edged sword, or maybe it's a I don't know, synergistic type thing where, so I'm trying to find a way where I can individually break that. So if I had one dog at a time, walk them past, correct on the spot in the moment, provide them with the positive feedback immediately as when they exhibit the behavior that I want them to, which is not to react to the other dog. Maybe I can get some traction with having them to be a little more uh, less reactive to the dogs or anyone that's just walking by. So that's my plan. I want to start there first, and then I think level 2 maybe either do the same thing with both dogs, and when I feel like, hey, they can walk easily past these other dogs. Now, here's the only other problem. Here's the other hiccup, because we've done this before where we walked by, and of course they were way too excited. I was excited trying to make sure that they didn't pull and go to those little puppies, because they're yappers. They're like these two small little things. They're just yap, 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 yap. And one has learned that they can basically blow right past that electric collar. I'm sorry, the electric fence. And so that's happened where he just broke free and came up to my dogs. And then luckily we just kind of kept walking, and the tiny dog went in another direction, but he was free from this fence. So I'm hoping that that won't be the case where we're practicing, the little yappers break free and actually come to us and we're not ready yet. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the scenario, but I'm willing to risk it and try it. Hopefully they'll stay behind their fence. And, the other consideration is maybe muzzling her, so that if that ever happens, she won't necessarily be able to bite them. I don't know that she would, though. I'm really not convinced. I think she only bites. Well, at home she's biting Rain because they're just playing, right? And she's just doing her thing. But I think I don't know that she would actually bite. I'm not 100% convinced that would be the case. However, I have seen her lunge at people. And okay, buddy, we're gonna go to the bathroom in a minute. Okay, we're gonna go to the bathroom. He keeps pulling me towards the field area. Yeah, I try my best to lead them where I want them to go to the bathroom, not give them the impression that anywhere there's grass they can pee or poop. Because that's not the case. We live in a neighborhood now. I do have backup. You probably see that baggie there in case something happens. Like, you can't hold it, but I prefer giving them opportunities at designated spots, so they know that. But I think that where was I at? I was saying that I think these guys could really. Man, I lost my train of thought. My bad. I might have to edit that out. But I think I would like to try to work my way up to having both of these dogs walk past those dogs on the electric fence, and work up to that. And the next step would be maybe to take them to the dog park on leash. Oh, I think I was talking about muzzling her. Yeah, that's a consideration, and you guys maybe can help me out on your experience of muzzling your dog. I mean, I feel like there's handicaps that we can use, or maybe just tools that we can use. But if they become handicaps and we rely on those tools, and they're not, that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is not to be muzzled. The ultimate goal is to have a balanced, happy dog that's well socialized. So I don't know. Maybe I can use the muzzle for a minute and then work my way up to being free. Either way, I've got options. We've got time, and they certainly have all the time in the world. They have the rest of their lives for me to work on this, right? So that's what I want to do with her. So if we can work up to maybe going to the dog park, where maybe, because there's a local dog park where there's a track within the dog park, so you can walk your dogs in this massive circle while while there's dogs off leash playing in the center. So that will provide a lot of stimulation, a lot of distraction. There are people there, and then maybe just get used to walking around without being off leash, being on the leash the whole time, getting used to other dogs coming up to us, and then maybe invite people to come pet them, and then hopefully being off leash where any other dog in the dog park or any person that's available and wants to pet them can. But as it stands now, if I go from where we are, nope, it's not yours. If I go from where we are straight to off leash in the dog park, that would be an absolute disaster and a big mistake because they are nowhere prepared for. He's got the leash underneath his arm. They're not prepared for an interaction like that. We'll get there, but I think today our primary focus is finish our walk, get our initial energy out so that we're balanced at the start of the day, and then we will maybe do some socialization. I wanted to do some shopping with them, give them some cool things to wear because they've been naked for so long. I think they should wear some clothes every now and then. Yeah. Oh, you see that? He confirmed that with his face. He's like, yeah, Dad. Oh, they both want clothes. Did you see that? They both said yes. Anyways, we're getting close to our PP destination, and I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be. So, but before I go, I want to again give some shout outs to people who've been leaving me comments, watching my videos, watching our videos, and again, I have more to show, more to talk about with her. We've got lots of stories. Ooh, that looks like doo doo. Oh, no doo doo. We have more stories to show or talk about, and we have more family members to meet. So hopefully, wifey will be on pretty soon. She's got a lot of things that she wants to share based from her perspective. She wants to, she's a busy lady, man. She's a professional that always around the clock. So she has a perspective with how she handles time with the dogs and what she has to do. And so, and then also I said my daughter, she's 14 years old and she has her own perspective. She's an animal lover herself. She has a caring heart for animals. Maybe that's where maybe she gets it from me. I don't know, but she's a bleeding heart, almost to a fault. But she's very insightful for a little kid. I mean, I don't know what I did, or what we did, or how we did, but she's insightful. So I want to bring her on and give her perspective on having big dogs. I think that's helpful for people because that are watching and are interested in maybe owning a big breed like this because it's a family thing, right? It's not just one person because it's a lot of work, man. And if we're all invested in the well-being of these dogs, I think when it comes down to it, you know, we do what it takes to make sure that they're happy and have what they need because it's easy to sit there and put 3 gallons of water in a container, leave it out, you know, five scoops of food and leave it out, and then be like, all right, you're good, and then come back home or pay attention. Oh, I think we passed up our pee pee spot. Let's go back, guys. We gotta go pee pee. Um, leave it out for them, and then they run out of water and they're thirsty and they're dehydrated or something, and you're like, you know, how long has it been since they've been without water or whatever? But if you're working together as a team, as a family, I think we're all got eyes on their water bowl. Have they been fed morning and dinner? Have they been exercised? You know, I'm the primary one that exercises them the most, but we work together on other things. So I think it's important to kind of show that if possible. We got some deer in the community. I don't know if we can. I don't know if you can see them or not. Here we're getting close to our pee spot, so maybe we can see those deer. And the dogs don't seem to be fazed by them right now. Looks like a little baby deer just kind of. There it is. That's better. I think we can see that. Yeah. So that's one cool thing about this community is we have deer everywhere. I've kind of been doing a lot of work out here, so there's not much grass for us to pee on. But anyway, also I want to give one more shout out to Ozzy Corso and his family. Uh, they have been such an inspiration to us. Man, you're struggling with that rope, aren't you? They've been an inspiration to us, to me, to the puppies. So we want to give them some love and thanks for what they do. So yeah, I don't know if you heard the last part because my microphone was elsewhere, but I want to give a shout out to Ozzy the Cane Corso and his family. They've been great people for us. They've been a great inspiration for us, and so I like giving them some shout outs. And anyway, so that's it. We have some neighbors walking, so we're gonna probably use both hands and pay attention to what's going on. So talk to you later.